Hi, I'm going to use the case exceler8 tool to drive some changes to these instance-based masses. So you see here I've got kind of 30 instance-based masses. If we just select one of these and edit the family, pretty straightforward. A number of instance-based parameters here that control the width, the length and the overall height. And I've just kind of placed these all side by side, and at the moment you can see they're all the same size. So I'm going to go to the case exceler8 tool, and first of all I'm going to export the category. Opens up a dialog box, and you can probably just about see all this, but what we have here is we can have one tab or multiple tabs when we're exporting all the category types, but in this instance we're literally gonna just pick masses. So we scroll down and we find mass, select that, let's move this up, and I'm just going to export, and we're going to say export masses, and this will take a little bit of time, but you'll see in the green bar across the bottom we'll start to export all the families. Now we've actually exported the file, we can open the exported XLSX file in Excel. So I'm just going to open this, and you'll see it's really consistently formatted, and this is the thing I like about this. So you'll see here the family type and the name, it's XYZ location, which is quite neat. And then we'll just come along here and we'll see here that we've got our parameters for our height and length and width. I'm just going to muck around here and try and make some changes. I'm going to actually use some of the fields that we've got here to drive some formula, nothing particularly exciting, but let's start off with the comment parameter. Let's make this say let's make this 12 or something like that. And I'm just going to scroll all the way down, and we'll just populate that there like that. So we've got from 12 all the way to 41. Let's just quickly pick one of the other parameter names we can populate with a number. I don't know, maybe type comment, that's kind of okay. And let's make this maybe 125, something like that. And we're just going to come along here and we'll copy this all the way down. In fact, actually, let's not copy this down, we'll keep it all the way the same. Let's come back here, and then in our H column here, which is our height, let's make a formula. Let's say equals, and we'll say this value here, which is Q9, let's multiply that by this here, which is the type identity comment, and that should be 1500. That's not great, that's probably not high enough actually, so let's come along here and let's make that 1250. Okay, so that's say 1250, yeah, 1250. That's good. Let's kind of repeat this down, and this time I will actually just kind of make sure that it lists up and increases in value, and then we'll come along here and then we'll just kind of repeat this down, and you can see these numbers here increasing because it's using that formula. Probably not explaining this very well, but I think you get the general idea. What I'm doing here is driving the height based on a multiplier by a value in the type comments by the identity comments to give us my overall height. And then just save this, okay, and we'll just close this down. So back in Revit, what we're going to do now is sync the data. So we're going to do an import sync. Let's pick up the Excel we've just made changes to, and we'll open that. And the nice thing about this is that we can pick up different parameters, and we can ignore or we can choose to drive them all the way back in. What we're going to do is we're going to say all to Revit. So this is the idea, and I quite like this. It's very simple. You either ignore the direction, you can say push it to Excel, or in this case we're going to push it to Revit. So we're pulling it in from Excel, and we're going to make and drive the parameter change into Revit. Really straightforward and easy workflow, and I kind of like this. So let's just say sync. I kind of like this little dialog box that Don's put here. Kind of just shows us, and you can see it happens really quickly, and you can see now that our parameters have automatically been adjusted to reflect the height based on those changes in the Excel spreadsheet. You can see if I was just to roll this back, just undoing this, you can see the changes that would have been made by the Excel. So let's just run that again. Import sync, pick it, and we'll say to Revit, and this time, in fact, let's just say if we say all none, and we just change the height, so hopefully it will be a little quicker. To Revit, say sync. This dude here is kind of see the change, and very quickly you see the change appear in Revit. Okay, so just a funky way to drive geometric change from Excel. So I like the whole process of pushing it to Excel, making the change in Excel, and then pushing it back into Revit and updating the geometry. This is not a great example, and the practicalities of what I've demonstrated here are probably limited. It's more fun more than anything else, but it does kind of get the whole process and shows the clarity and how useful this particular tool is. It's all part of the Case Pro apps, so you should be able to find it on the Case Pro apps website. Really worth looking at if you're serious about Revit and data. You're going to need an Excel to Revit tool in one way or another. Again, this has massive value and potential if you're using Revit in combination with Kobe data. You need to do some cleanup to parameters to drive information in. Again, very useful approach. So hopefully this video has been useful, and by all means check out the Case website for additional details.